Okay, in this video what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this slider and I'm going to delete this thumbnail image because I'm going to show you how to re-input them. And the reason why, two reasons. One is um, you might want to know how to create an additional slider or how to add more images or swap out these images. And of course you'll want to know how to add a thumbnail image. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and delete. We're going to go to Display Buddy and then Slideshow. Before I delete, since I want the same images to reappear, I've highlighted this text, the text that appears on each image, because each image has its own phrase that I've put. So I've just pasted them into Notepad. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete this group. Now see this shortcode. I'm going to copy that actually, and I'll reference it in a moment. Okay, so this is the shortcode that pertains to that slideshow. Well, that slider on the home page. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Delete that whole slide group with those two images. And I'm going to go to Posts. And the first sticky post. And you can see the thumbnail there. I'm going to go ahead and delete that and update. And again, this is to show you that, as you add new articles to your site, if you want each article to have a thumbnail associated to it, then I'll show you how to add that thumbnail. It's very easy to do, but it's nice to see it done. So as you can see, the first post no longer has a thumbnail, and the slideshow is not appearing here. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is go to my media library, and I'm going to delete those three images. So you can see me kind of go through the whole process from uploading an image from your desktop. Okay, so we'll go to Add New. And I don't know if you've had a chance to use WordPress 3.3's drag and drop feature, but it's pretty cool. But I'm going to click Select Files. And here are my two sliders. And there's my thumbnail image. So I'm just going to click those three. Just hold the Control key and then click each image. Okay, so they're all uploaded. I'm going to click Show on each of those. Now to maybe save yourself a little bit of time, on these two slider images, I'm going to paste back in my text. You can put whatever text you want. If you put it in the title and the caption, especially the caption is where you need to have some, well, you don't have to use text, but if you want some text to appear in that dark opaque, semi-opaque bar at the bottom, you're going to want to paste in whatever text you want here in the caption. Okay, and here's the other phrase that I'm associating with that particular slider image, and that's it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and click Save All Changes. So I've got my three images. Here are my two titles. And now we'll go back to Slideshow. Display Buddy, Slideshow. And we're going to create a new slideshow group. You can name it whatever you like. You might want to call it something like Homepage Slider, because you can create multiple sliders and input them on your posts and pages. But for the home page, which really should be your very first group, okay, I'm just going to name it the name of my site. Click Add Group. Again, you can name it whatever you like. Click Edit Group. Add Image. And I want this slider to appear first. Now, what's cool is you can add a link. So if you want to link this out to your affiliate link.com or whatever, you can do that. So if someone clicked the image, they'd be redirected somewhere else. But I'm not going to add a link, so I'm just going to select that image. I've got my caption there, as you saw. I'm going to add one more image for the second slider. Image. Okay, no link. Select this image. So say you had, added 5 images and you wanted them to be in order, you wanted them to display in a certain order. You can always drag these images up and down. Okay, but I want that one to be first, that one to be second. Okay, so we're not quite done. So the slider images need to be 580 by 300 pixels. It defaults at 500 by by 300. So you want to make sure to change that to 580. And the way I set it up personally, but you can play around with these settings, is I set this to fold. These first two are ticked on the left, then I tick no. So these two are no, and then that one's a yes, and that's a no. That's how I do it personally, but you can, again, play around with these different settings. I change this to 600, that to 4000, then I click Save Settings. Okay, so now my slideshow, my slider group, I suppose, is saved. So if I click back to slideshow, you'll see it's that the very first slideshow or slider group that you create, it's group 0. Okay, so that's where this short code, when I copied that earlier, that's where that, I'll show you how that relates. If I go back to theme options and homepage options, there's that same shortcode. So say you created several groups and you wanted to experiment, you wanted the third group you created, which would be group number 2, because remember the first group starts at 0. I've only got one group and it starts at 0. Then you'd put, slideshow group 2, so then you can show a different set of images. But in this case, I'm just leaving it at the default. Now I'm going to go back to posts. And I'm going to re-add that thumbnail image. So I click on the post that I deleted the thumbnail. Scroll down a little bit till you see Headlines Enhance Custom Settings. Click Upload. Media Library. And there's my thumbnail. So I'll click Show. I don't want to link to the image, meaning if someone clicked the thumbnail image, it would actually open an it would show that image in a new browser window. I don't care to do that. Normally I would title my images, but you don't have to, because we're only inserting this as a thumbnail. And it's full size, 150 by 150. That's the default size of the thumbnails. Okay, then we click Update. And we go back to our home page and we should see the slider and the thumbnail. Okay, so there we go. And there's our text. It's not linking out, so I can't, if I can't click the image and link anywhere. This will link to the post instead of the image. Okay, so hopefully that seems quite easy, and I'm sure once you do it once or twice, you're going to realize it's very easy. And I think that is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.